I'm gonna say the dreaded C word because usually this destination, people end up or players end up here when they want your career to die and they just want you to be in purgatory. Yes, it's Cleveland. And for many years, Cleveland has been a franchise that's in flux. And they've seen a lot of quarterbacks come and go. Some have had upside, some have had promise, some have come with hype. But this time it's different because you have two rookie quarterbacks. You have Dillon Gabriel, you have Shedeur Sanders. One player has broken college records with pinpoint precision. And then you have Shedeur Sanders, who, in my opinion, was a very good college quarterback from two programs, irregardless of the level of competition. But he's shown that he is a professional or pro style quarterback, in my humble opinion. And also, he has been tutored and nurtured by Tom Brady, Mr. Seven Rings. But it comes down to this: Cleveland has two rookies, and one is better than the other. And by the end of this video, I'm going to show you or tell you why I believe that Shedeur Sanders is better. Welcome to All Things Considered. This is Bearded Aquarian, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So let's unpack this thing for a second, right? So Dillon Gabriel drafted 3rd by the Browns. Shedeur drafted 5th round, respectively. And I want to talk about the latter. The latter, in my opinion, based off me observing him at the collegiate level, is polarizing. He's confident and he's gifted. Now, I'm going to show you guys this overlay because there's statistics. The statistics say that the slight nod will go to Dillon Gabriel, but we all know collectively that stats don't mean a thing at the next level because you're talking about college football to pro football. It's apples to oranges, right? It's still fruit, but it's not a exact comparison because everybody at the next level is great, or I would say good, and then you have your greats that separate themselves for good players. And when a pocket collapses, right, you're gonna either have somebody that's gonna fold under pressure or somebody that can stand in there and make the throw. And I've seen Shedeur get his block knocked off, and I've seen him make crisp, precise passes under duress, under pressure. And he's a pocket quarterback. You know, the often knock on black quarterbacks is that they don't make all their progressions, not all of them, but like back in the day, right? Or when Vic played, Vic would drop back, make 1 or 2 progressions, never make his full progressions and take off running. You become one-dimensional, so teams were able to plan around, hey, we just need to stop Vic. He's not going to drop back all game and sit there and try to pick us apart throwing the ball, right? This is the ATL Vic, not the Philadelphia Vic, which was more polished. But Shedeur has this poise of a veteran, again, based off my observations, based off the limited observations at the pro level, but definitely in college. And so usually your habits will matriculate at the next level. So if you're one of these players that, you know, you don't make all your progressions, or you got bad mechanics, or you're not doing certain things, or you're known as an offensive lineman to false start, well then guess what? That's gonna follow you. That's gonna follow you at the next level because your habits, good habits are great, but then bad habits are even more detrimental to the team because they could stop a drive. They could lose a game. You could lose a playoff spot. Hell, you could lose a Super Bowl if you were ever in that particular type of position. It's a game of inches. So I think the nod goes to Shedeur. That's what I believe. I'm pro Shedeur, right? But in Dillon's defense, he's a higher draft pick. He's had more reps in camp. He actually has had an opportunity to learn the offensive system. And he's actually the starting quarterback for the Browns as we speak. And he hasn't provided a spark. He hasn't been abysmal, but he hasn't been like Jackson Dart in New York, where you're like, wow, they made the right pick. They made the right choice. So I think from just unpacking it or setting the stage, already Shedeur gets a check mark for me in that category. All right, so now here's where things become intriguing or get spicy. And let's talk about Dillon again. So Dillon is a veteran, but he is a journeyman quarterback. He has over 60 games, over 18,000 yards, and over 150 touchdowns. That's That's pretty impressive. But I think a red flag is that he had to do it in 3 programs. So to me, that says there's a guy that can't or is unwilling to stay put in one program and try to hone himself and get some stability and longevity. But it is what it is. Again, over 60 games, over 18,000 yards, over 150 touchdowns. Now he's the current starting quarterback for the Browns, and let's say he's put in some work. I'll say that. But then you have Shedeur, and for all what it's worth, Shedeur has done more with less. Again, Colorado to this day, they still don't know how to recruit. Dillon doesn't know how to recruit. He don't. He's not been able to get those blue chippers, those 4-star athletes. He just hasn't been able to do that. Their offensive line is atrocious. So it's the same level of quality or lack thereof that Shedeur had to endure, yet he threw for a completion rate of 74%. That is the highest in Colorado Buffalo history, even from the national championship team, even though it was sort of like a run option or an option-based program back in the day. Threw for 37 touchdowns, 10 picks. So ask yourself, which quarterback do you think will have the bigger upside? A quarterback that's been around the 3 programs, or a quarterback that's been only 2 programs, but technically, if you think about it, he's been in one collegiate program, but has worked wonders, and really, he's the reason they even won any games in the first place. If we being frank and being brutally honest. Shedeur is literally getting jumped every play. And you can go back and look at the plays and go back and look at old games. They're up on YouTube if you want to. And you'll see he getting his block knocked off. Unnecessary roughness, no flags, no penalties, and yet he's in there and still handling things like a man. He's not pulling himself out of the game and saying, Dad, I'm tired. Give me a break. Give me a play off. He's out there balling like a baller or like a leader is supposed to. Now, I'm going to tell you who the problem or what the problem is. This man, Kevin Stefanski, he's the head coach, and in my opinion, he's on his way out. But he's not playing like he's not coaching like a coach that's vying for his job. Because it's so perplexing in that you will be hell-bent on keeping the one player that may be able to salvage your career or at least prolong your existence in Cleveland, and yet you are reluctant or you refuse to play him. You refuse to play him. And to me, it's almost like I won't say he's coaching scared, but he's just not coaching smart. And like the only way a player like Shedeur can learn is you got to throw him in with the wolves. You got to, or you should, put him in his trial by fire. He has to learn the system. He has to get his licks. He has to learn in the school of hard knocks. That's the only way that you'll be able to play, or the only way that you'll get good. And so Shedeur is holding his peace. I think I will say that the New York Giant evaluation in which was reported, and again, and sometimes they'll report stuff and they only report it from a one-side angle, but that didn't paint him in a good light, and that's probably why he's in Cleveland. But I'm still a little incensed at the Raiders, because why wouldn't you grab a guy like that? That made no sense. Like, it's the perfect marriage. Why wouldn't you be in Las Vegas right now? Tom Brady is your homeboy, but not only that, he's tutored you as a quarterback. Why wouldn't you want an actual protege to suit up for your team? And so these owners, they're just showing solidarity and not wanting to conform to what they believe to be a show off or some pompous, arrogant kid, and I just think that's BS. But we're gonna stay on topic. Kevin Stefanski is the issue. And again, you have a Tua Flores type of situation where there's, I won't say on a personal level, but on a professional level, I guess he just don't believe in Shedeur, because why else would he not be playing? Why else would he not be playing? Dillon is a system guy, but Shedeur is the system. That's just my opinion. You could take Shedeur somewhere else, and I don't know if he's going to still play for the Browns his entire career. I don't see that happening. But everybody's going to hop on the bandwagon once he starts balling out, whether if he's with the Browns or if he's somewhere else. They're going to be like, wow, he turned out to be pretty good. He was good from the get-go. You guys just didn't want to play him. You just didn't want to play him. So as it stands for now, Stefanski still has his job, no doubt. And who knows, right? If they lose the next 4 or 5 games, he'll probably be out of there quick. And then the interim coach will then put Shedeur in there. He may rally and pull a couple wins out or really ball out. Who knows at this point? But I think from a standpoint of who has the better upside or who's the better quarterback, I'm going to lean towards Shedeur. Nothing against you, Dillon, but I just think that Shedeur is ready to go. He's built for this position. He's built for the spotlight. He's built to be trial by fire, and that's what I think. So let me know what you agree to disagree, or if you agree, drop me a note. Let's engage in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. This is ATC. I'm out.